part 2, the sequel, strikes back. So I'm looking at how do I enter into submissions? How do I create opportunities to enter submissions? Once I'm entered, how do I create a position where I can finish? And I work those finishing details. And then how do I cleanly escape back into a safe and dominant position, right? Because different people have different levels of tolerance for pain, different mobility. So I always assume max and that I'm not gonna get to finish. When I'm working with somebody I trust and I knows the correct reaction in that position and we understand what I'm going for, then I will work my finishes. If I'm going with somebody who's brand new or I've never rolled before or I'm not 100% sure, then I'm not gonna try to finish. I'm just gonna work entry, control, and then exit. There's no finish in there, so I don't have to worry. Some partners, especially people who are unfamiliar with certain situations, will tap super early. Great, no problem. I worked my entry, I didn't get a chance to work my control or my finish, but that's no problem. We reset, and now I have another chance. So at no point am I threatening my opponent with injuring them and not having that training partner in the future. So when you put these two concepts together, defensively, I'm tapping the second I don't have defensive options. And I'm tapping so far ahead of time. And then I'm taking that situation and going off to the side with somebody I trust explicitly and workshopping it so I understand my options better and better and better and better and can go deeper and deeper and deeper into that game. Offensively, I'm entering, controlling, and exiting unless I know explicitly that the person understands the danger and when it's appropriate to tap. And then I'm cultivating partners over time that understand that explicit danger and we can play later and later and later into the game. And that's the key for everybody at the Academy getting something positive out of that role, is if I'm showing them a million different entries and showing them that however they're configuring their legs and their body is leaving a lot of submissions open, that's great. The exact same way that if someone is in guard and wants to leave their elbow on my stomach, I'm gonna keep shooting arm bars. But if somebody's a day one person or doesn't have a lot of familiarity with arm bars, I'm not gonna break their arm just to prove a point. I'm gonna prove the point to myself that I can enter it, control it, and exit back to a good position. And so if we work with that mindset, then we're gonna get a lot of the benefit over time and continue to keep growing and everything else. So bringing it back specifically to leg locks, like there's nothing in leg locks, there's no boogeyman or anything else. It's joints, it's pressure, everything else. In terms of understanding, and I'll post up this video as well because we talked about defense, outside heel hooks are a lot less dangerous generally. The pressure should be up into the knee, blowing it out laterally, but this rotation, just because of human anatomy, a lot of it can be absorbed at the hip, and the hip will still have some play, so it's hard to get true shearing force. When we go to inside heel hooks, the hip no longer has the ability to externally rotate that way, and so there's going to be a lot more chance that when I block the knee, the hip can't move without the knee opening out, and so now there's nothing that can take the force. So now, even if I just wreck over, I will destroy my partner. So for me, even when I'm going with people who understand the game and we all are on the same page and we're working leg locks that day and we're working finishing mechanics, outside heel hooks, I'll play around a little bit. Inside heel hooks, it's a done data. If you can't clear your knee out of the knee line, tap. Because once they start extending, it's a very quick hit to the end point and there's no other point on your body that can absorb that force. But it's the exact same thing of if someone's got a Kimura on me and the control on my shoulder is loose, I might be able to still play. Armbar, if my shoulder can move, I might still be able to play. But if they've locked that down, once the elbow gets extended or once the elbow gets locked in place, there's nothing else to move and then that's gonna pop. So anytime we're doing joint locks, if somebody's wrist locking me and I can wiggle my elbow, I can find space. If that elbow is stuck to the ground or to their body or to my own body, it's time to tap. Like you made the mistake. And overall, if we just accept that we made the error and we want to reset and have another chance to not make the error the next time, then we're going to be staying on the mat, we're going to be healthy, we're not going to have injury problems. And I guarantee if you can spend a year straight on the mat, injury-free, you're going to get better than if you took that month off for being stubborn. And you expand that out over 10 years, well, that's 10 months off if you're lucky, if you don't have one actual catastrophic injury. So anything that we can do that allows us to get more reps and more time on the mat is good, and that needs to be our focus in every part of our training. Boom. Coach Al, out. Thug life.